Well, welcome to episode 3 of the NFT Show, where we talk about everything.
Except NFTs.
I think that's the last time we'll do
Yeah.
it.
It's not funny after a third time.
I don't even think it was funny at first time. Well, how's things?
Grand, mate. Obviously, we've been very busy the last couple of weeks.
It's been fun.
Yeah, very fun. Wales 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, Wales was amazing. Us, DJ Isaac, Extreme, Cali, a few others. Shocker. It was Phil McIntosh. Brilliant.
Yeah.
You were in some tune.
I made some bad decisions of drinking too much wine, and that was the end of that one.
Too much wine. He had drunk 2 bottles of wine before we left the hotel.
I'm not a big drinker for anyone who doesn't know me, so two bottles of wine had me rightly, and then the copious amounts of water that I ended up drinking that happened to be wine when we got to the club.
He said to me in the hotel, "It's all right, I'll start drinking water." So I was seeing him with a bottle of water in the club and a wee bottle of wine. So every wee bottle of wine he drank, he was drinking a bottle of water.
Yeah, but it worked. It balanced itself out. I got a lot more pissed, but I wasn't that hungover. I was just very tired the next day.
Because you slept the next day the whole fucking way back.
Well, you have to hear that. I'm glad I slept because I would have had bad anxiety about missing the flight.
That was rough. So what happened was it's about 2 hour drive from Swansea to Bristol Airport, and there was me and Dave and Extreme from Australia, and I think she was going to Croatia for a drop. A festival in Croatia, but we were on our way all in good time, and then there was an accident on the motorway, and Jesus Christ, see the panic station set in on me like.
Oh no way!
I went straight on and booked the fast pass for the fucking airport. I was like, "There's no way we're getting caught here," and we literally walked on and away like.
But see, you had all this worry. I get into the car, put my hood up, and I open my eyes with Extreme hitting my leg, and you going, come on, we have to go. What? What's going on? You're like, we're nearly missing the flight.
It was so awkward, mate. You get out of the taxi and see the driver. You know your driver he's brought us back a couple of times.
Aye.
He was standing I think he opened the side door. It was one of them big taxi buses, and Dave bounced out when they got there to shake his hand. Then halfway doing it, he just stopped and walked on. And your mom was looking at me, and I was looking at Dave, and then he's like, "Oh, just dandered on," didn't even say anything.
I was oblivious to really what was going on. Everything happened so fast. It was a bit of a blur. I was sleeping, and then the next thing I know, we're in the departure lounge. I'm like, how did I get here?
Bounced out of the taxi, and we were walking along. If anyone been in Bristol Airport, there's like a wee runway bit covered up, and he looked at his phone. He went, "Shit, where are flights here going?" And I went, "I know, hurry up." Fucking brilliant.
See, I didn't have to have all that worry for an hour. It was just quick fix, solution, done, panic over, we're in. Happy.
See, as soon as we picked Jamie up, Extreme, she said to me, "Isn't that make your flight?" Something like, I'm paraphrasing now. I said, "What I mean?" She says, "I've had loads of bad luck," because she broke or tore ligaments at DEF CON. She was at DJing at DEF CON, tore ligaments, missed the rest of the day, and then a couple of other things went wrong for her. And she says, "You'll not make your flight," jokingly, and we nearly didn't. And then the next day, she got the Croatia, and her bag was left in Amsterdam, her suitcase.
Oh, freak.
So she was nearly right.
So yeah, we just happened to
dodge it.
Hitch the coattails of her bad luck for a while.
So shout out to Jamie Extreme, she's a fucking legend, and
I hope you actually get home. Maybe
she
I'll speak to you next time.
She got her bag back. She got it. KLM sent it out the next day.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
I know. Well, it was good. And then Club Honey that weekend there.
Yes, 2 days passed.
That was madness.
That was a brilliant wee gig.
That was one of the best club shows we played in Northern Ireland in quite some time. Like,
yeah.
Because I remember Ronnie was in here last week, and he was saying that like the crowd's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And they were, and like see even people shouting, "Love the fucking rave."
Yeah.
The new tune,
Aye,
and
it's
like,
just come out.
It's not even out.
Aye, well.
We have only started playing it in their sets.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously we put a video or two up on Facebook, but like I couldn't believe the reactions that the tunes were getting. It was crazy, like.
But it is, as you say, it's nice having a crowd that know the tunes instead of just trying to be like, right, what tunes can I play that's going to accommodate
that's
the
it.
casual
You're a lot more free,
fan.
aren't you?
Yeah. Plus, we also went a lot harder than we normally did, given that it was a raw night.
Yeah, that's it. But I agree with you there. Like, there's some clubs, especially when you're playing mainland UK, you're sort of tiptoeing around testing what you can play, because if you're playing raw stuff, they sort of turn their nose up at it. Sometimes they don't. Same with Wales or whatever. Like, you're sort of playing
once you're starting
tunes.
to get up to the higher BPMs, it's
Yeah,
starting to
you have to start going more UK hardcore than like Raw or Gabba. Whereas on Saturday night we just fucking went for it, and our new tune, Kick the Funk as well, went down really well, and Ghetto,
and Ghetto.
to a Raw and a Frenchcore track, done really well. So
it's the variety of life, mate.
I know.
That's it. And then sat in the studio yesterday, 2 new ones. Well, one finished, one almost finished. So plenty more to come for all you guys.
We're only getting started, trust me.
Yeah.
You want to hear what we're doing. And we are definitely going down the more hard-styley route. Fun hardstyle now. Obviously, for years we've done subground and we've done hardstyle, and then never really touched hardstyle.
We've always flirted with a wee bit of hardstyle, but it was always some sort of weird, eccentric side road of.
I remember I thought we invented it. I remember I was calling it side answer. I think we're the only ones doing side 160 beats a minute. And then next minute, Starks come out. Mate, I've been doing this for like 3 years.
Oopsies.
I remember, like, when we were trying to get on Harsh, I was like, well, send it to Harsh, fucking Junkie Kid, Starks and all. And then like, I was going, push it's good enough. We'll get it on. I sent it, and they come back and saying, yes, we'll sign that. And I was like, fuck, he don't understand music again. Like, it's not that good. The tune's not that good. I start doubting. I go, because I think our tunes are shake sometimes. And I was like, it's not that fucking good, like.
Especially back then, like, we were like, yeah, for what we're capable of now, that sounds good, but
even with John, see, whenever I sent him a couple of tunes, he's like, oh, I'll sign them. Before I was like, oh fuck, love to get on Keeping Real Alive, and then you send the tunes, and see, once they accept them, you're like, do they even understand music? Like,
yeah, it's like,
but then our tunes aren't that good. But
you're your own worst critic.
That's what it is.
Everybody else will enjoy your music, but because you've sat and listened to maybe like a quarter of a second 800 times trying to get it to sit right, you're sick to death of it, and you're like, it doesn't sound to us how it sounds to listeners for the first time, because we've obsessed over it, and you're always thinking, I could change that, I could do that. You're always,
by the time you're playing it in the club, you're filled up with it already.
And you have to make a certain cut-off point, because you could just sit and focus so much on, I'm going to do this, and maybe 6 months down the line you're still doing this and doing that. You have to just say, right, fucking just going to pull the band
every tune I've finished, 2 weeks later, once it's like signed and all, I'm like, oh, I should have put a few more dBs on that, or I should have cut fucking frequencies here.
But it's mad as well, like, how you can like listen to a song so many times. Like, once you've rendered off a draft of it, you'll listen to it a load of times, like in the car when you're out for a dander or whatever, and it sounds sweet, and then maybe after like the 50th listen, you'll be like, how did I not hear that one little thing that's out of place? How's that like been absent for the last 49 times? But now it's like you go sort of deaf to it almost.
You definitely do. 100% go deaf. And see, especially what I do, like, you have to listen to each part of it. So like, I break it down into the sections. So like, you have your build up going into your intro. I'll just focus on that. Like, once the tune's done, and focus on that till you hear things that are out, and then just go through the tune in them sections, and then after that, they're still never fucking happy.
Well, that's it, mate. But again, the last batch of tunes now have been very well received by all the crowds. So again, we must be doing
Ghetto
something
was
right.
insane the other night, like, compared to like, so doing it in Wales or doing it in fucking Brussels, Ghetto Belfast is where you can really test raw.
Yeah.
And well, it's not really raw. Like, it's a dance. Like, it makes you dance.
It's rawer than what we would normally.
But it went down really, really well.
Yeah.
And it's a remix of an old tune, like an old hip hop.
I can't even remember what it was. It was just I heard the vocal sample of it somewhere. I was like, that could work.
John Kutsky was going to release it, and then we were like, well, I don't know if you can, because of where the vocal came from.
The cut off of the royalty is.
Yeah, so we'll just stick it out for free at the end of this month, and do what you will with it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely doing the damage on the dance floors, like.
But again, as you say, it's because you've had so many years of testing out subground, which it didn't take off here. It was more receptive in the European market. And then we've done sort of hard side, which again, people started to pick up on a bit, but again, it's not that big of a market. And then you started seeing it influencing bigger mainstream hardstyle artists. You're like, right, okay. And now, through trying out all those, because we've done UK hardcore now for a while, but now by trying out different things,
done everything but hardstyle.
we can incorporate that fully into hardstyle now, and you have the ability to make so much, because we are so varied in our sets. Like one set will be completely different from now to the next one, so you always need to have tunes that's going to fit that. If we just sat and made hardstyle,
It means you would only be playing hardstyle.
yeah, you're limiting yourself to what you can play, really, if you want to play your own music.
I know, seeing people say, here, what do you call it? What tune was that you played like about 5 minutes into your set? And I'm like,
yeah, don't
know, mate. I don't know what tune we're going to play next.
Not
we're
saying
saying,
you get people
you're over my shoulder going, what are you playing? I'm like, I fucking don't know, and looking. And then I'm over yours going, what are you playing? You're like, don't know. And I'm like, no, change that. And you're, you know what I mean? Like, we genuinely don't have a clue. I know a lot of people would like plan sets out now, which there's nothing wrong with, but we have always again, we have played gigs because we play so much like gigs with different crowds. Like, do you remember when we played down in Uri? Like, see if we went down there with a planned raw set, we were fucked. We ended up playing
the one that was sort of borderline 18, 19 years.
I don't think there was anyone 18 in there bar us.
But yeah, if you didn't have the sort of popular classics remixed,
or like we have a wide variety of music that we would play, but like we end up playing because every time we touch, you know what I mean? Like
that wasn't a proud moment of my life.
I had to get it on video.
You pulled that one out. It's like, mate, even for you, that's bad.
It was fucking tune at night.
It was too. It did. That's what's so unfortunate about it.
Oh, you can't deny it. It's a great fucking tune.
I'm not gonna lie.
But like, how many other people would have that on their pen?
Well,
Sound Rush remix actually on that.
But I actually let it out for a piss the other night, and I could hear that just floating over the airwaves. Like, why can I hear Cascada belting out at this time of night? Went and done a wee bit of research and was like, yeah, Clubland and Woodville Park. Like, how on earth is Cascada in the Woodville Park right now?
I know.
3 litre cider. You, every time we touch, I get fingered. You.
I know, all they want is the size to be played over.
Bits and pieces, the sash, and then we're away.
Bits and Pieces went down well the other night too.
Did.
That's a great wee tune. That's our remix of Bits and Pieces 170 BPM. It's a fucking whopper, like.
I don't think it was
Jackie all trades, master or none.
Pretty much. Because we don't dare master, and that's why. Don't make
it
either. Hashtag ghost.
I mastered Bits and Pieces, like. Live on Facebook.
We should have been blasting it out there when we're sitting waiting in that fucking queue.
That was a nightmare.
So
for those who don't know, tonight is the 11th night, which is Bonfire Night in Northern Ireland. And I went and picked Dave up. It's like, we'll record the podcast at like 6 because we'll do it for an hour and then I'll get you over home before all the roads close and all blah blah blah. Fucking what time did I pick you up at 6?
And
then we got caught
20 past 6 we got stuck, and we got here at 7, sitting just watching the
fucking bands. I thought the bands were out tomorrow, not tonight.
Aye, but this is the Shankill Road. Like you guys do things differently up here than the rest of.
I was calling them all the orange bastards day and night. Like
you are so torn between your love of the 12th and also the fact that you couldn't be fucked sitting in waiting for these guys to walk past beating their drums.
Podcast is waiting for fuck's sake, but that was a nightmare.
Well, we could have just parked and walked over, but you know.
Went up and seen that big bonfire, the one in Larne.
Aye.
Scary big, like. It's hard, like the photos, anyone you see, like it's hard to justify how big it is until you're standing beside it.
Oh,
See, you're standing beside it and there's a pallet and it's that thick.
Yeah.
And then you're looking up and you're like, fuck me. Like,
aye, because it's like 180 odd foot or something before the big 40 foot beacon on it. Like that's
crazy, man.
Nuts. Fair play to them for doing it. Like,
fucking.
I think if any country deserves to have a record for building bonfires, it has to be us.
I was reading about it because they were all posting about fucking bonfire world record. Apparently it was Norway. Norway held the world record.
Was that just like the village fire or something? It was cold one night or something. Like, everyone throw your chairs on, throw the tables. We're getting warm tonight, guys.
That's it. Fucking minus 30.
I mean, there was not one bottle of Buckfast in sight round that bonfire. I'll tell you.
Fucking sure there wasn't. There's enough Buckfast up there to fucking feed the world.
I'm sure it was getting thrown up along with each pallet. One pallet, one bottle. One pallet, one bottle. But fair play to them. Like even the structural ingenuity to build a bonfire that high.
I know, because you picture them all being like, just, as you say, a bottle of Buckfast in hand and a high vis vest on.
But like even looking at the side where they had the steps up just obviously support people to pull up more pallets.
Yeah.
They had the crane, as you say, they had the harnesses and all.
I
Like,
know.
there was a lot of thought and planning. It's not just in most places, like the local kids go around, collect all the wood for the bonfire, build it as high as they can, then you burn it. Like, these guys have properly really
it was
thought
pinned
this
in the
structure
ground
out.
and all, like, so you couldn't get within like probably a fucking 100 foot round it,
Right, okay.
and it was pinned in the ground. Like they had straps coming off the fire into the ground. So like as they were building it, they were putting straps through it to hold it, so this thing's not falling. Like,
Aye,
but I said to her last night. I said to her, do you reckon they, like some header who is like a structural engineer has came and planned this out for them?
you would have to. Because again,
Because it was pretty
you're,
well done.
you're
Like,
building like a fucking fortress.
I know.
Like, that was, you can't just do that on a whim. Like, that has to have been planned by some sort of structural engineer. See if they could build it and it just went down on itself. Like the way you sort of like see a building demolished and just go
Yeah.
like that would be class.
Like the way they done the Twin Towers.
It's alright, I think it's been long enough where you can make a comment about that.
I know, fuck's sake. But that's the way they went. I remember watching the videos and Alex Jones told me. It was the detonations.
You can see it here, and here, and here, and here. And if you pause it here...
What
you can
about
see
Building
something.
7?
What about it?
It just went down itself. It was nowhere
They
near
all
it.
just went out for pizza, mate. That was it.
Oh, man.
That's a different rabbit hole right there.
One we're not prepared to go down just yet.
No, we'll ease everybody into it first of all. We'll not let them see the full crazy side of ourselves yet.
We have documents.
So here's one for you, right? If you could do any job, right? Doesn't matter about qualifications, you are qualified to do whatever it is you want to do outside of the world of music, what would you do?
Fuck, that's a tough one. Don't actually know. Something where I don't have to do much. And I can
Like
podcast, a crypto fucking investor, just chill out.
I don't think that's the right thing to be going into now.
No, I done alright with Terra Luna, did I tell you?
No.
So Terra Luna had like it went to zero. Well, it was going to zero, right? So like you could buy, I seen it on TikTok, buy it, it'll rise again before it goes to thing. So I was like, right, it was like 0.0007 per coin. I was like, fuck it, stuck a score note on it. And then next
Not
day,
a bet.
this
Just fire a score
is
on
a
it there
bet.
and see what happens.
the next day, I woke up and I checked it, and it was worth 120. Here's me, cha-ching. I could have got more. It was actually the first I seen it was 170.
Oh, did you just cash out too early? Is that what
No,
it
I
was?
cashed out too late.
Oh,
I
right, okay.
left it because I didn't understand. But that's all they're doing. That's all them rockets are doing. And then after that, it went to zero.
Right.
But that was TikTok talking me into it. But you can make money off
So
of it.
that's what you want to do. You want to be a crypto banker.
No, what I'm saying is I want.
Do you like being the banker of Monopoly and all? Do you being that wee cunt? I have to give you the money and slipping it into your own pocket.
Get into jail.
Don't pass go. Do not collect £200.
Undoing the handcuffs and all. No, in my house, you're handcuffed.
Dear fuck, speaking of jail, the child was talking to me about jail the other day for the first time. Just turns around, she's like, I want to go to jail. It's like, okay, let's back up a bit. Why do you want to go to jail? Oh, because it'd be really cool. And I was like, no, well, jail's where you go if you're naughty, and tried to sort of like, oh no, you don't want to go to jail. That means you're bad and you're a good girl and all. She goes, is it true that they throw water over the prisoners?
In Guantanamo.
I was like, who have you been talking to, Ruby? Like, who's Mummy? I was like, right, okay. So we'll get on to this anyway. And I kind of went into it with her. I was like, you don't want to go to jail. Jail's naughty. Told her about solitary confinement. Really tried to scare her to go to jail. I was like, aye, that wee room, never leave. She's like, wow, that's really long. So Nicole comes home and like, what are you teaching her about jail? She's like, nothing. I was like, she said she told her that the guards threw water over the prisoners. Like, I never told her that. I was like, who told you that, Ruby? It wasn't Mummy. She goes, maybe it was Nanny. I don't know. So I think she's made this up somehow, or she's seen it.
She's seen it on TV or something.
And now she's running about thinking that's great. Could you go and get like fucking waterboarded in jail? Like, well done, child. Well done.
You could waterboard it yourself. You want a bucket of water, sunny day. See how much you like that.
Have we knocked on the door, social services?
Excuse
Excuse me, seen a wee video there of you making jokes about drowning your child. I couldn't come in. I shouldn't really be making these jokes. She's due to have some sort of house inspection for going to nursery from her thing round the corner. They come out and sort of just make sure that the house is livable and there's nothing dodgy going on. And now I'll start digging into the archives here, and I talk about, you could just drown her to show her what it feels like.
Sorry, but no.
Is this what it's going to be? You get bit by Heather, and I drown the child? Is that what it
I know, mate. I had to put makeup on me.
is? Wee bit of concealer.
She wasn't happy, was she? Fucking brilliant.
Sorry, Heather.
I know.
Don't beat me too.
Well, what do you think? What's the next plan on the music front, you reckon?
For us?
Yeah.
You know, and you know I don't want to talk about it.
I just wanted to see. I want to make you uncomfortable.
No, how can we dart about this so that everyone can have a thought? There's something in the works that I've spoke to a few artists about doing, and it's going to be something different. It's not going to be your normal standard club night or fest or anything.
Help everyone.
Yeah,
it'll help everyone.
It's also not the golf tournament. That's going to be something different as well.
Oh, mate, I've been watching YouTube videos on how to play golf.
Funny enough, fucking Sam.
But here, honestly, I didn't search them. They just started popping up in my feed.
Because I've been listening to the conversations, man. That's what it is. Sam messaged me, Sam Reid, sending me a video of him taking a swing. It's like, you definitely are a golfer. He's got some fucking drive on him. But I don't reckon he can play the rest of golf.
Oh,
challenge there, Sam.
Hold on, there we go. Let's do that first. Sam, first Dave. First.
Could be the team.
I'll video it.
Team captains.
You pick your team.
Which bunch of reprobates do you want to pick first?
No, but that's a good one. You and him play each other, and then I'll video it, and then
we'll put it in Pornhub, and we'll make a load of money.
No, I was going to say Patreon. That's the one thing I'd admit. Seeing Wales, see every time someone said something funny, you were going Patreon exclusive. I was going right, mate. Every time someone told a story about something, he said, "Oh, you can do that Patreon exclusive."
Mate, I like to think that I remember a good majority of that.
Mate, you've done the worm.
I know. I do.
You've done the
that.
worm on stage.
I also done a back roll.
I remember that.
I missed the stage, but luckily, whatever way I rolled, I perfectly landed.
See, whoever was videoing us probably just see me going. The worm was good. The back flip wasn't.
That's because my back's too bad to be out doing that. I'd jump up. I used to be able to do that as well, but no.
I remember we were in Mandela Hall. That's the first time I seen you do the worm in the organ donor with the organ donors.
Do you know why I had to do the worm that night?
No.
Because this was back whenever I smoked, and I needed a filter from a fag, and Scott from the organ donors was sitting with Nicole. Now they were having a bit of a joke, and they were making this fake chess club because there was another act on that, say, not from here, was sitting over there being a bit antisocial. So like, oh fuck, don't want to talk to us. We'll just like start a chess club. Well, you're not invited. And having a bit of a joke. I say, anybody got a filter? Scott's like, yeah, mate, I do. And as he literally is about to put it into my hand, Nicole stops him and goes, wait, make him work for it. I say, what are you doing right now, Nicole? I just want to smoke. She's like, I've always wanted to see him do the worm, and he tells me he can do it, but I've never seen it. And Scott's like, okay, I'll give you a filter if you do the worm. I was like, are you shitting me? He's like, no. And he took it away, put it back in his pocket, so you're not getting on until you do the worm. And literally for 5 minutes, they just sat and hassled me about this. So that's why I had to do the worm, because I wanted to have a fag.
I was sitting there on the way that they used to have like the seats that went round. I was just sitting in them seats. Next minute, I seen you going boom, 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 boom. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I'll tell you what, for someone who's got very bad back and all that, I can still do the worm quite well.
You done it alright in Wales. I just couldn't believe you fucking done it. I was like, what are you doing?
Neither can I, to be fair. It kind of just, it happened so quick. Again, like our DJing, what I do in the moment is not a planned thing. It just, whatever happens to the music happens, and then I walk off stage and hopefully don't have to hear about it again.
Aye, not with me.
No.
Nah, but for now, lad, you can fucking still do it. Like,
of course I can, you know.
I don't think I've ever tried to do it. Like,
I would like to see you try and do it. Patreon
exclusive. Amazing.
I can't believe I was saying that to everybody in Wales.
I know, like, see if someone said something interesting. Fucking, I was with your man Davis and fucking, I was dipping him down up the stairs and he went, oh, alright, Antiques Roadshow. I never laughed as hard in my life.
For anybody who doesn't know, Debbie is, how can I put this nicely? He's an elderly gentleman, but he can rave better than we can. Like, he puts us to shame. This boy has some stories.
He's 70 odd. I think he's like 71 or something.
And he just,
Doesn't look a day over 60. Like,
but he's got some good stories.
he does
and
alright.
he
Absolute
loves
gentleman,
it.
like. But it's just the way it happens. He is.
But Antiques Roadshow
is amazing. Mate says he
balcony.
walked away up in the attic where the green room is.
Aye.
He was standing around and we were yarning away and he just, all right, Antique Roadshow. Fucking brilliant. It's hilarious.
It's every time you go there, there's something different.
They've done a great job at our club.
Oh, they have?
It's unbelievable. Like,
Yeah.
so you go in, like, the first time we played there, even the main room, they were bringing in their own speakers and their own lights. There was no, like, screens behind you or nothing. Now, like, you go in, like, the main room is like a fucking super club.
Yeah.
It really is like a super club. And then when we went upstairs last time to the green room, it was sort of, it was messy. Walls weren't painted. Now as you're walking up 3 flights of stairs, all the walls are all graffiti artists, and then there's a full recording studio, and then there's about 10,000 vinyl.
Aye, the vinyl library.
The vinyl library, and then you go upstairs again to the green room, where sofas and fridges and all. Like,
I think the best part about the green room now is there's security cameras all around the club. They have it set to a TV in the green room, so you can watch the acts you're on. You can also watch the crowd and see what they're digging, what works, and it's actually quite good for an act to be able to sit, have a chat with your peers, but also still be able to see what's going on downstairs and enjoy it that way as well.
That's it. It's quite quiet, but you can still hear, but you're not having to wear earplugs and all.
Yeah.
But it is like, it's one of the.
I forgot to put my earplugs in the whole night in Wales, apart from when we played, and even when I done that I think I put them in the wrong ears, and it just
doesn't surprise me.
It was just a bad night overall, and
you're like on self-destruct from when we got there. You were just like, get a bottle of wine. I was like, no, mate, I'm alright. I'm trying to stay sober. And you're like, no, just go on, have one wee glass. And I was like, no, mate, I'm good. And then I knew, like, you were gone. But the fact that you never stopped drinking, you were like, I know what'll help. Drinking water and wine at the same time.
Drinking more, that always works.
But no, back to the club. Like, the club is seeing the transformation of it, and they've been so good to us. Like, they've booked us for a lot of their shows over the since before COVID. And we have a massive following in Wales, so shout out to the Welsh crew. Like, they've been brilliant to us. But the transformation of that club, honestly, is amazing.
Oh yeah, I think as well the fact that they're not family orientated, but the fact that you've got the raver family that goes there, and they've memorialised that with the graffiti on the wall.
I would like D-Groove and that.
That's what I was trying to remember. Was D-Groove. Obviously passed away.
Yeah.
And they've graffitied a big mural of him on the main wall of the club as a memory for him, which is lovely. And the fact that even when they've renovated the club so much and changed so many things, and they're now turning it into more like an event centre more than a club, the wall's still going to stay there.
Yeah,
and I think that's a lovely touch.
I know. Madness. But look, back over in Wales for Escape in August.
Yeah, 20th of August for Escape in the Park. Ooh. That'll be a fun one.
LED always I remember watching a video of LED in Frisky, like fucking years ago in the tent in Escape.
The big huge
Bionic tent. Yeah. I was like, wow, I'd love to go and play her, and
month's time, and it'll be another one off the checklist.
I know. Man. So many fun things coming up. What I'm proud of also at the moment is the fact we're not just taking everything and anything. Any gig that comes our way or anything, like we're at the stage now, we're like, no, we don't need to do this gig. Yeah. But
again, in saying that, we're now 10 years down the line, and it took us a lot of hustling and gritting our teeth to be able to have that luxury. Yeah. But again, I think it's a big thing that a lot of acts need to do now, is be more self-aware of themselves. Like, you don't have to take a gig to play to 10 people that's going to cost you like 50 quid in petrol because you think it's going to get you exposure. Yeah. At the end of the day, if you like producing, like, you could spend that 8 hours that you're going to spend on a round trip somewhere making a tune, learning your craft, which is going to catapult you.
Doing a TikTok video even,
Well, no, no, just no.
That's how you make it nowadays.
But you think about the amount of creative songs that will never be wrote because somebody's spending time going, oh, look at me, I'm on TikTok. Oh. Like, artists should make their art and they should be appreciated for that,
Yeah, I
not
agree.
because I can juggle fucking 6 babies on TikTok.
I know, but it's different than that, mate. You need to do your social media on the side. But with what you're saying there, like, whenever it's easy for us in the position we're in now to say that.
Yeah.
Mate, me and you drove. We spent 80 quid on petrol to go and play gigs for 20 quid each.
2 words. Clancy's plant hire.
Disaster, that, wasn't it?
That is the only time I think in our 10 years of working together where we probably thought, fuck you. I don't want to see your face again.
I agree.
You've just made us do a fucking round the country trip for a place that doesn't exist. You fuck.
Aye, but that wasn't my fault.
Oh no, it wasn't your fault. Like, to be fair, whenever we were down them scary dark roads of where Limavady or
No, fucking
not
way
Limavady,
past
like
there. Fucking, I don't even know, Limerick?
aye,
Somewhere.
Limerick, that's where it was. But yeah, and you're like knocking on fucking hotel door. Like, I say hotel very loosely. It was like a big house that had maybe 5 rooms in it, like a proper old type hotel. Like, I've never once heard of Clancy's Plant Hire in all my 50 years I've been here. And it's like,
It was in Ireland, not Wales.
I know, I realise. I do a pretty good Irish accent, and I kind of all just went a bit fucking ski whiff there.
But
See,
whenever
it's
we went,
talking about it's PTSD, mate. It's bringing all the bad memories back.
So what happened was we got booked to play this fucking festival thing that was in like Barnes and all, and the promoter text on like, I think it was WhatsApp even. WhatsApp wasn't about them, would it?
Yeah, this is going back to Bebo days.
No, well, not. It was maybe 2012 or maybe 2014, 15. And anyway, we arranged the lift and all, paying the driver, going down. Weren't making much money off it, but it was a decent lineup and all, meant to be a good gig. But the promoter texted me saying, "This is where it is, fucking Clancy's Plant Hire. You go to there and you turn left." So we get into like the main town. There was nowhere called Clancy's Plant Hire. And it turns out it wasn't there. It was on up the road a bit, and it was called Clark's Plant Hire. Yeah. But how the fuck are we 110 mile away from home meant to know? And then, see as well, I was back in the day where once you went over the border with your phone, your internet didn't work.
Plus, because it was a 2-day event and it was a camping type thing, the promoter had no battery for his phone, so his phone died.
So we couldn't contact him either.
We didn't think it happened. We actually thought it was a piss take and someone was just sending us a wild goose chase. And then the next day we'd seen some videos from it.
I did too. I honestly thought that someone was trying to wind us up, but no, it was just that we were everyone in the car was ripping it because we were driving about for about 5 hours.
We left Belfast, I think, at about 4:30 or 5, and we didn't get back until maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. And we didn't do anything but sit in Biddles' car. Yep. And just dread it. And it wasn't like there was room.
No,
there
was a wee car.
The girls and Biddles. Like, the car was filled.
You had to pull the back seats down to get in.
And we done a round the country trip for nothing. And
absolutely
but I always like telling that to people who come and ask us for advice and be like, "Oh, getting all this and this is happening. I can't be arsed." Like, we drove to fucking a place that didn't exist in the middle of nowhere. You look back now, like, you can really appreciate what we have now because you've weathered the storm of shitness at the start, but you have to
playing the tumbleweeds.
Yeah, but you have to do that. At the end of the day, you have to work your way up the ladder. Like, unless you can just produce and you're fantastic, but just being a producer is not enough. Because if you can be a producer and can't DJ, you'll still get called out on it. We don't get called out in our shit mixing because people are too distracted by, look over here, look at the hands, look at the hands.
Doing the worm.
Exactly.
No, but I see that there, what you said there, like, oh, I can't be arsed no more. That doesn't wish for me. Like, not once in the whole 10 years of we've been doing this quite regularly have I ever went, fuck this. Yeah. I eat, sleep, and breathe this. Yeah. When I wake up in the morning, I think about producing tunes. When I'm going to bed, I can't sleep because I'm thinking about producing tunes or whatever I'm doing. Like, I don't want to go as far as saying it's all I think about, but like, bar obviously the kids and my missus and all, like, that goes without saying, but like, it's a pure obsession. Yeah. And see, whenever I see people that are really talented and good at what they do, but they're like, oh, but I'm not getting to do this, not getting to do that. Mate, I remember fucking working my arse off, me and Dave, for about 3 or 4 years, and we were getting nothing. Yeah. Nothing at all. Mm-hmm. Did we and you sit here and complain about it? No, we sat here and went...
Of course we did. All we could do was complain in here, fuck's sake.
But we didn't. We sat and we went, how can we get better? Yeah. How can we improve? And that's what I hate. You see it a lot. People
throwing the says, nobody cares, work harder.
It's as if that was a planned speech.
That actually just worked out quite well. But I seen that and thought, you know what, that's fucking perfect, because that's what it is. Yeah, everyone can have a wee bitch and a moan and a rant. But at the end of the day, no one gives a fuck. The only way you will be a success is if you fucking work hard.
Yeah.
You get out what you put in. As cliche as that is, like we didn't take this that seriously at the start. Like
No.
we would have done maybe a Sunday a week, and when we say a Sunday, 2 hours of that Sunday was spent fixing cables. Why is the computer not turning on? Why is that sample not loading? What the fuck is going on?
That's a monetary problem. That's
And
money problem too, though.
But then once we had a chat and we're like, right, we need to fucking knuckle down here. And then we started doing 2 nights a week, and then 3 nights a week, and then 4 nights a week.
And
Now it's
all the time.
we work 6 days a week, and 1 day is just to spend with the family, and that's it. Like the fact that you leave a gig, and the first thing you do, you wake up in the morning, have a cup of tea, turn the laptop on, that's your studio for another 11 hours, and there's so much talent.
You can only do that, but if you love it,
have that drive, and that's I think why a lot of people don't go that far, because you have to accept being knocked back for so long before people will be like, right, okay, we'll take you seriously enough. At the end of the day, we could have fucked off many years ago, but we're still here 10 years later. It's been a hard slog, but now we're being taken serious because we're like, right, well, these guys have fucking, they've knuckled down, they've grafted, they're not going away, they're a fucking bad smell. we may as well just let them hang about here now, and that's
nah,
it.
but the stuff that we are doing now is decent. This is the thing. And see as well, but see with the hours that me and you put in, it's like, you can only do that if you love it. If you don't love it, you can't do that, mate, and it's as simple as that. So like, that's where the pretenders and the fakers start to. Oh, I want to be a DJ because like get the girls, get
TikToks.
this. I mean, we have been in long-term relationships from we started this.
Yeah.
We've had families. You know what I mean? Like, it's never been about money. It's never been about
like I
women.
met you a week before I met Nicole, and Heather was pregnant with Jax.
Yeah.
When I met you, like our whole family circle is kind of intertwined throughout the Phase 2 journey as well.
Exactly. So that's why, and I think that comes off with us. It's never been about fame or any money, anything. It's always been about music and what we enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas you see it a lot, like,
which is why we don't do social media, because I don't enjoy it.
Oh, fucking hell, we're terrible at that. That's fucking like our pages and share it, please.
just do it.
Fucking hell. I know, so we don't have to make a post. Mate, what was it like the other night when we got out of Club Honey? We were like in the car.
I know.
How many times did that take us to do that?
Let's do a video here, right? Dead on. Take 6, take 7. Mate, I took a video in Club Honey to put up, and when I watched it back the next day, I realised my finger was halfway over the fucking camera. I was like, well, that video's not going up then, okay?
Them cameras are the fucking best thing we've invested in, like.
Oh,
see, just setting them up behind you and away you go.
Yeah.
You were saying to me, there's not enough room. I was like, trust me.
I genuinely thought that the stage would have wobbled a bit, and that because of the stand, it wasn't as solid as it normally is.
It was more. It was sort of leaning against the screen, like.
Aye.
The bottom, no, the way the bottom of the screen, the bottom leg was sort of leaning against it.
Yeah.
But that's a couple of good ones, good videos we've got from behind now, and mate, that's all you need, really.
That's it.
The new tunes, get them out.
Start advertising them.
I know.
So we can get this next batch out.
I'm looking forward to Love the Rave coming out. Like, I'm excited about that one. It's not the greatest production in the world, but it's fun as fuck.
That's our first track that we've actually wrote our own vocals for. I originally envisioned it sounding like one of those speech
like a computer,
kind of women.
yeah.
Like was it the David Guetta tune? Like, hi, my name is Molly, and all this here.
I don't know what tune it was, but
like
I know what you
tune
mean.
about whatever. So I spent ages going through this wee talk to text speech thing, trying to get it to sound right. 'Cause obviously, if you like party, it goes party. So it sounded shit. So I wrote par, like POWER, space tea, like a cup of tea, and went party. So I joined it all together. Fucking took me for ages after writing the words. I was like, do you know what? That sounds fucking class. Wrote the track around it, and then once I wrote the track, I was like, that voice sounds shit. So I don't know whether it was because I stumbled across this person or because I've been watching Married
it was
at First
because
Sight
I
with-
told you to get the fucking vocal. Like,
No, I mean,
get a vocalist. I was like, get a vocalist. Get that
No,
computer shite out.
What I mean is the voice that we fell for being an Australian, I would say, because I
Yeah.
was watching Married at First Sight Australia when Nicole has probably also influenced this at the time, you know.
This is that's terrible.
Oh, here, mate,
That's
you
like
can't-
Love Island, for fuck's sake.
Oh, it's definitely not.
It fucking is.
It's like Love Island for adults. It is mature adults. But yeah, so we got some Australian girl, went on the Fiverr, sent her sent her a message, I would say Nicole was putting the child down, so it was about 7:30, and I was like, right, it's fucking early morning in Australia. I'll leave it. An hour later, she writes back going, yeah, send me over a script. I'd be really game for trying something like that. It's like, right, dead on.
I should never done anything like that before.
I sent her the script, and obviously there's, if you've heard the song, and I'm sure you'll all hear it soon enough, there's a lovely little line that says, shower, shit, shave, ready for a rave. And this seems to get everyone giggling. Don't know why.
Do you know why he put that in? Because he wrote a status one night
Yeah.
on Facebook said, shower, shit, shave. He got about 40 likes and he was like, yes.
I took them words and I turned it into a full tune. Why
I know.
not? But yeah, so
It did,
she
it
came
worked
back
out
within
well,
like
you
3 hours of me sending the initial message, and it was just straight in, done.
Yeah.
The tune was over, and
I liked it from the moment you sent it. Like, even with a computer voice in it, I was like, this'll be good. Because you sent me it built with the computer voice in.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could hear the instrumental of it. I was like, it's a whopper, like. So,
because you're not about vocals and tunes
Nah.
at all. Like you're,
mate, I still don't know the words to Fix Your Heart.
which do you know what? Do you know what I find so surprising? For someone who claims they don't know the words to any songs, and that is true, because you don't know the words to our songs, even though you've sat here and fucking listened to them.
Over and over and over.
When we drove home from Dublin that time with wee Kev, and we decided that we were going to listen to the Marshall Mathers LP, and me and you hit every word, and he's just sitting in the back going, "The fuck is happening here?"
Let me
Like,
stick this on. I'm like, no, mate, we're Marshall Mathers on this.
something special is about to happen here. Just you sit back, relax.
And see what that's.
But how do you know every word to the Marshall Mathers LP, but you don't know the words to any
No,
other
I
song?
know. I can learn it. I have to focus on it, but it's the same.
Right.
Like, I know fucking nearly every word to an Oasis album back to back. But I have to focus on it. Whereas, like, I'm joking about Fix Your Heart. I know all them. You know what I mean? I listen to them.
Can't see me.
But I am an instrumental listener. So see, whenever if the radio's on, and fucking Beyonce singing, I'm not listening to her words. I'm listening to everything else that goes on. So I have to focus on the vocals more to get it.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's a challenge, like, because you literally, like, I've sat and I've mixed down vocals and I've put fucking vocal synth and all on it. I've done loads of work on vocals independently and still don't understand what's going on.
What's actually been said. See, I'm the opposite. I actually, up until maybe the mid 90s, I would say from the 70s to the mid 90s, my music knowledge of words for songs is actually scary. But it's my pet peeve when people sing a word wrong in a song. And I get really bad about it. Like,
That's me.
Excuse me, I think you'll find that this is actually the words. And Nicole, God bless her, is the best for it, because she'll just sing merrily this little song in her head, and I just have to stop her and say, sorry, what do you think the lyric is? And see, now that I've done it that much, once I say, what do you think the lyric is, she instantly starts going, shit. What did I say? What did I sing there? What I now feel that this is possibly wrong. And do you know what? For 10 years, she has been wrong about every lyric. And the other day, she sang one,
That's me.
and I burst out, made the biggest laugh I've done, because it was aha, take on me. I can't remember what part it was, but she was like, it's this, and I was in front of the child, and I was like, bah!
Mate, I have
And
loads of them situations.
It turned out that she was actually right, and I was wrong for what I thought.
Oh!
And I had to hold my hands up, and I'll even say it again now on the show. I'm sorry, and I will eat my humble words for laughing at you that much, but you do have track record.
No, I'm like that. Like, there's words or there's tunes that I've fucking sang, can't think any off the top of my head, but haven't even been close to the lyrics. What do you call? There's a new one that's like
Oh, if it's new, no, it doesn't fall into my library.
It's a fucking big one. It's like
That's what she said.
looking in the window. They're looking in our window or something. But I was singing it.
See, you spend a lot of your day listening to the radio. I don't.
But I don't listen to radio. It's just on. I'm not listening to it. Like,
but yeah, you would still,
but
you would have more knowledge about common music or
fucking, it's
current
annoying
music,
me
sorry,
here.
than I
If
would.
only we could have searched it. I was singing it way wrong. It
Google
was,
search for a tune called "Out the Window."
but that's what it said. Or you're looking in our window. Like, don't give up now. People are looking, like, I can't remember. Fucking people are going to go mad. But I was on the radio in the house and I was singing away, and I was just like, that's not what it is.
So those right. So this is why we don't know what the song is. You're now singing the wrong words again. Aren't you?
Can't remember what the fucking thing is, what the name is. But again, that's just the way There's loads of people like that. There's a full community of people online and they're like, I can't learn words to songs.
I feel sorry for people like you.
Oh.
It hurts me deep down to my soul.
Well, it works for the music that we make because it's mostly instrumental.
Even that, for the small amount of words, you still don't fucking know them.
Money over
Women. Jesus, do you remember
money
that
over
tune?
boxes. I know.
That's a fucking golden oldie.
Money over bitches. Aye, that wouldn't have been.
It was
Universal Music would have been the first subground tune.
Yes.
Aye.
Universal Music, and then
Money over
bitches. Yep.
Or when did Hands Up came in?
That was because that was after we finished on Analog's Digital.
Analog's Dead.
Or Analog's Dead.
Yeah, he doesn't know label names.
Well,
trying to. But that's all right. He knows words to the songs.
That's all right. That's all that matters, mate. But no, that was on Gearbox
we
after that.
On Gearbox, yeah.
Yeah. One of the very first releases on Gearbox
No,
before they went.
Like,
One of the first releases, sort of, whenever they were trying to do something different, and then they were like, the raw worked because they had their hard style and their reverse bass and all, and then obviously they had a period where they're like, we're going.
I was just hard dance because I remember Phil adding us into a group like hard dance advocates. And it was all like the biggest hard dance acts in the UK, like trying to bring hard dance forward. But by then, hard dance was dead. Like, and we never done hard dance, like, but it was just because we were they classed us as slow hard dance in the UK, but it was subground, harder edge, harder edge stuff.
Like the way short organ donors and things was.
And then, but I'm pretty sure our release on Gearbox was like 160 or something release because they were churning out tunes.
Probably was, mate. My mind isn't what it used to be.
Well, that's all right. You know the words.
That's exactly. It's not too hard. Put your heads up. Put your heads up.
It's not even it. It's raise your hands up.
Oh,
unbelievable! Did you see that?
No,
I know all the words to the songs.
Oh, that's so bad for me. Say it.
Edit it out.
We'll cut that bit.
Raise your go. Right, ready?
I will do
right on, shoot.
I know the words, mate. It's raise your hands.
That's it.
Oh fuck.
Oh, amazing. But I love them days, and like, I mean, we weren't great producers back then. Again, that was sort of in the time where we were sort of half arsing it. But again, see the shit we got. Like, see how quick we are at making music, mate. It's scary.
Yeah.
Might not be the best in the world, but like the ideas are solid.
But again, you've got to churn out content. It's not about what you put out; it's about how much you put out. That's what she said.
But it's definitely getting better tune by tune. But I get shocked that how quick we can do it now. Like,
yeah.
But again, if you do something long enough, what is it, the 10,000 hours?
Yeah,
if you do something for 10,000 hours, you become an expert. We have our own way of doing things. And it's just, like, we can finish a tune ready for master in 24 hours.
Yeah.
No problem. Like.
But it's took us a long time to find a good workflow again.
Well, that's it. And we have found we work better separately in the middle of it. Work separately, and then at the end, finish it together. And that's that's done us really well the last 2 years.
I build, send it to you for mixing, and then come over here and we'll just
change
I want you to change that. I want you to add that there.
Yep.
And then it comes together.
Yep.
And then everyone's like, "No, that's shit. Don't want that."
Alright. So, next, please. All right.
But that's another thing as well with us. Everybody who produces and stuff has a target label. Or they're like, I want to be on that label, and I want to be on that label. And like, yes, we have target labels because you want to be on big labels. But we don't solely like fucking blinkers and say, right, that's our label, that's all we're pushing towards. If we make a tune and go, well, that sounds like it could belong there, we'll send it there.
Yeah.
Or, oh, fuck, that wee tune sounds like it could be there, it could go there.
Yeah, a couple of people say that to me. It's obviously it depends. If you're on like fucking Scantrax or something, it's worthwhile releasing all your music on there because they have a bigger platform.
Yeah.
But with the labels that we'll be the next tier down. Your best going around, so then you get more. It was actually Kutsky said this to me as well. He's like, your best, like, I don't want to tie you down to keeping the rave alive.
Yep.
He says your best going about, because if you're with keeping the rave alive, it's only going to be keeping the rave alive fans then.
It's that little pocket of people that will see the tune.
And that's fair play to him, like, because all our tunes he's released have done pretty good, like. So.
And again, as he says, it's more whenever you start getting into the bigger labels, then you're tied into 3-4 track deals.
We know of a few people who got fucked with big contracts, like.
Yeah, but it puts. I think it puts more pressure on you. Like Well, I suppose I can actually talk about this now because it's not really going to happen. We had originally intended on writing an album to celebrate our 10-year anniversary, I suppose, this year. But
No, you said
yeah, well,
we. It
no,
was more you, like.
yeah, but it
But
was a
see,
joint
because
idea.
Dave is the creative one, I was like, well, go ahead, mate, because I can be creative, but I'm not as good as what he's like. See, he's writing melodies and building tunes unbelievably quick, and I was like, are you sure? He's like, mate, we just produced 7 tunes in 2 months. All we need to do is another 2 tunes on top of that. At least that's 10 tunes. There's an
Yeah.
album, and I was like, all right, like I believed in you,
Yeah.
but then you fucked yourself.
I don't know. It's not. It's not that I fucked myself. So again, it's like being tied into a contract. Once you're contracted to something, there's a lot more pressure on you as an artist to say, right, I have to deliver this tune. If this tune goes well, right, my tune needs to be better than this tune. And you start getting into your own head. You've got deadlines to meet, and it takes the creative fun
Yeah.
away. I wrote ideas and little melodies, and I wrote lyrics and stuff, but nothing was really sitting with me.
Yeah.
And once I decided to not go ahead with the album, but take the tracks that I'd already wrote and started formulating ideas for and just do them as individual tracks.
Yeah, singles.
I've now done 3 tunes.
I know,
and
that's
it's like,
insane.
I-
You got
I-
your
I
mojo
just
back,
felt
but now
like
you're
it
only
was
7 tunes away from an album. No, but I agree, and like I noticed it too. That's what I was saying. I said to you a couple of weeks ago, I was like, mate, just fucking forget about the album. Like, we'll
Yeah.
just. But that was all you.
Yeah.
Like, you were putting that own pressure on yourself. Nobody else knew. But again, I see, with my only thing, and this is before you told me that you weren't being very creative. I was like, in my head, I was going, "Fuck, has he hit a brick wall?" Because it happens. Like,
Oh, 100%.
It happens. Like,
Yeah.
that does happen. But then once we realised that's what the thing, and then next minute yesterday we were like, boom, boom, 2 tunes, let's fucking go. You know what I mean?
But it's a lot of music making is obviously it's in the mind because that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
But
See, by me, it's not so much. I'm an engineer. So, like, I don't have to be creative as much. Like, what all I'm doing is I'm making space for the kicks and the
Yeah.
melodies, and I'm adding reverb, delay, I'm distorting, doing a bit of sound design, layering kicks, making kicks. You don't really need to be inspired to do that. See, once you're knowing what you're doing there, it's sort of right. This is what I do.
aye,
You know what I mean? I'm going to EQ the lead.
you know
I'm going
what
to
portion you're doing.
saturate it. I'm going to
Yeah.
compress it. I'm going to add reverb, delay. I'm going to say it's the same over. Whereas with you, I told you this before. Like, you have to be creative. You have to be in the
But
groove.
that was something you've only really changed your mindset to really in
Yeah.
the last, I would say, 6 months to a year, where you're sort of like, because you used to badge me, be like, why the fuck are you not sending me music? Why are you not sending me music? And although you understood that I was probably not in the right mind frame for making music, I don't think it really settled
No.
the process behind
Yeah.
how me not being settled is not going to have a right mind frame. And once that easement came off, then I just fucking
See that period
running.
between February and the end of April.
Yeah.
Start of April would have been.
oh why
It would have been the end of April, wouldn't it? Like
I was.
the 20th of April or something.
Yeah,
Like,
because
that was
you said to me,
madness.
I'm going to New York
No, Paris.
or Paris, sorry. I want a tune when I come back, and you came back to 4.
Fix your heart. Fix your heart. I had as it was in the airport going to Paris.
I literally, I thought in 2
I was
days.
the 6th of February in 2
Yeah.
days, and I was like, "Fuck! I couldn't wait to get back and work on it and
It's like,
finish
right,
it."
well, you're on holiday. Let's see how many more I can do when you're gone.
And
But
then-
you get Funky Town, Ghetto, and the start of Love the Rave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wayo was in there as well.
No Wayo came after.
Did it?
Oh.
I was a quick one too.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Fuck, bastard!" I was dandering about Disneyland Paris with the earpods in, going, "Fix your heart, fix your heart," and I was like, "What the fuck?" I couldn't. Mate, see, the minute I got off that plane, I was in here. I couldn't wait to work on it.
But that's it, man. It was just, it was like someone, I don't know, the way I sort of describe it to people, it's like I woke up one day and it was like everything that I'd learnt over the last sort of 12, 13 years just made sense. I don't know how to explain it. It was just, I opened my eyes and went, ah, no, I get
Penny
it.
drop.
And I just sat down and it was just fucking.
That's the way I was over COVID too. Like, I always I knew what everything was doing. I just couldn't get things to sound right. Just same whenever I was like making sense and all. I knew how to get the hard, steady sound.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get it perfect
Yeah.
the way and then over COVID, again, it sort of wasn't an overnight thing. It was like I sat here fucking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it was just there was nothing else.
Try layer.
Eating pickled onion Monster Munch because I couldn't get McDonald's. Eating pickled onion Monster Munch and a tin of Lucozade, just fucking.
I forgot
going.
about your wee pickle Monster Munch phase that you went through there, walking about your 6-pack of Monster Munch.
Like Card Pilkington, for fuck's sake. I love them, mate. But they're hit and miss. Same with Pringles, mate. I love Pringles, but this is a fat boy coming out of me.
It is.
Now. But see, Pringles, mate, they're hit and miss. Like, sometimes you get them and they're like dead, like they just break in your mouth, dead smooth, loads of flavour. And then other times you have to fucking chew on them.
I can't say I've ever had a chewy Pringle.
Barbecue Pringles, mate, are the fucking shit. Like,
I love how you literally were in the middle of explaining layer and sense, and now somehow you've went from layer and sense is like eating barbecued flavoured Pringles.
they go hand in hand. If I'm layering scents or I'm making my own scents, I'm eating Monster Munch or Pringles. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you have to fucking keep it. That's another thing as well.
At least they're not pissing on kids like R. Kelly when he's making music.
Well, this is true, mate. There's definitely worse things you could be doing whenever you're making music.
You see how cunt got 30 years and Ghislaine Maxwell only got 20?
No.
Oh,
It's because she's a woman, mate. Pajama theory. That's what it is.
Yeah.
She was only.
She was also.
He was actually at it. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, have you ever heard this song? He's like, he goes on about his missus said he was caught cheating and he made like a 20-minute song.
Oh, I was like, I seen bits of this and it's like, oh, I was in the cupboard and all this here.
No, that's a midget one. He goes, guess what was in the cupboard? What was under the cupboard? It was a midget.
But is this not like part of the full thing where
no, that's a different one altogether, mate.
Dramatization of it all.
He's fucking wild, man. I can't believe I cunt got away with it for so long.
Well, he believed he could fly in. Mate, that song.
Same as Michael Jackson. How did he get away with it?
Because he's got money.
Shamo, motherfucker.
He doesn't really give a fuck.
Nah.
He's brown bread.
He got away with it, cunt.
Did I though?
Well, mate,
yes, he got away with it.
At least his music's still on the fucking radio.
Well,
R. Kelly, you can't play I Believe I Can Fly anymore.
Why, Kelly? It was on a trailer for some film.
No way, mate.
Cinema Minions movie, mate.
No way.
That's what I was just about to say.
They pulled it off Spotify.
The fact that you can still hear I Believe I Can Fly, I thought was quite mad. All the R. Kelly stuff. But yeah, it was definitely 100%. I don't know what the film was. We went to see the Minions the other day with a child. It was in some trailer for some kids film coming out, and it's like,
that is strange.
That's a bit of a
I was pretty
questionable
sure
one.
they pulled it all like off Spotify and all. But unless, I don't know, like if he's not making the money from it no more, the record label still.
But that's it. As long as he's not benefiting from it,
yeah,
and making money, then like the song didn't do anything wrong. A song is a piece of work that you.
It's a piece of art, yeah. It's a piece of art. Don't blame the art. Blame the fucking artist.
If you really want to get into it, all these famous paintings that are in museums, I'm sure them fellas helped in some sort of resistance, or like whenever they're doing all the Renaissance painting, I'm sure they knew a few dodgy characters and the king hiring them.
I'm sure they're all at that.
And they've all heard all these. Yeah, but that's it. But so what would they just not look at paintings now because there was some dodgy shit going on back then? Like, yeah, he was a bad man. Don't let him gain anything from it, but you can still enjoy people's music.
But it's alright, like being in a revolution. But when you're pissing on people's kids, it's a bit weird. Like, I know, but R. Kelly wants the wee girl to go around the studio.
I would rather somebody.
I don't know, golden.
Cut my head off. To be fair,
I don't know. He said he'd bring us on holiday, but he wants her for a golden shower or something. It must be a new song he's writing.
He's going to take you to holiday to his studio and keep you there for 6 months. Sleep in that bed under the desk.
Fucking wild, man. But I just can't believe. I understand
but again,
that.
That's money. Money gives people power and ego, and they become untouchable because you can.
Power corrupts, absolutely.
Money and religion are the two biggest corruptors, I think, of the human race. All religions, not just one specific religion. I think each to their own.
I think the Mormon one's alright. Like, get a couple of waves. Armies. They seem relaxed.
They all stand the attention. The Amish.
The
Amish.
That's a Belfast. That's a Shankill accent. I'm used to saying Amish. But I agree. Scientology is fucking alright too. Like.
But it's I just find the whole like so we're at a point now where we can look back at the Egyptians and the Greeks, and they had their sun god and the fucking field god and all this here. It's like, well, we now know that science tells us that no, the sun wasn't being pulled by a chariot. It rises and sets because of the motion of the planet. But how can we in 2022 sit and be like, well, they were all wrong about their gods because it was clearly wrong, but this god's right?
I know. It's a load of bollocks, mate.
Yeah, it's like, listen to what you're saying. Like, if you're cancelling out one god, then you have to be able to accept.
Stephen Fry said a thing about where he was debating like a preacher, and then he was like, "Aye, but like you're going to have to answer to God one day." And he's like, "I don't care. I don't want to be friends with a God who gives fucking kids cancer and fucking all this." And I was like, "Fuck, I didn't even think about it like that." But you're right. Like, I mean, I would all the interesting cunts will be in hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to go down and see Michael Jackson and R. Kelly
live on stage,
Jimmy Savile.
But like that, yeah. And
if you could go,
but if you can atone, like if you literally before you die, if you go, I'm sorry for all the bad things I've done, that in the book of the Bible is sweet, and you go to heaven. It's like, so you can just go out and do bad things all your life, atone before you die, and then that means you go in. Like
just to keep people in line. But again, see if I went to heaven, if I went to heaven, I was a good boy all my life. But you went to hell, and Heller went to hell. I wouldn't be heaven to me. Yeah. The people you love aren't there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so what the fuck? Right, I'm jumping again. Talking about the Egyptians made me think this, and I remember we talked about it before, but we'll do it here. If you were to go back in time.
This was my fucking question.
You asked me this in one hotel room one night. We were blocked. And I was like, but again, if you could go back, if you could take like a fucking time machine back in time to any time, where would you go?
Right, so that's a bit different from what I asked you. So let me narrow it down. Are you looking at me to give you a time period where I would like to go and see, or one moment in time where I would like to go back and see how something happened?
Either or. Doesn't really matter. What do you... What give us both your answers.
I would go... As daft as this sounds, it's one of two things. I would either go back in time to see how many animals it took humans to ride before they figured out that horses were the ones that you could actually sit on without getting fucking done in. Or I would go back to find out who was the first person that looked at a cow's udder and went, I ain't gonna drink that. Where did milk come from? How did we as a species decide we can drink other animals' milk?
Well, I know, but if they're mammals and babies drink mummy's milk, sort of hand in hand, like.
But what I'm saying is, what point in history?
Yeah,
like we're obviously going way, way back. Someone has at one point went, well, my child drank from her, and your child's drinking from you, cow. I'm gonna have a taste and see what that's like, because that was obviously a questionable thing whenever that happened, because you know that.
I agree.
Someone's drinking the milk of a cow. It's normal now, but thousands of years ago, sometime that wasn't fucking normal. And I want to know when that happened. Or sure, something like that.
Have you Googled that to see if that can come up? No.
Who was the first person that
when like an approximate time? No.
I haven't went that far down the rabbit hole. But
in my head, I'm going, I would like to go and see the Battle of the Bulge when the Nazi tried to break through the Allied lines. I was like, the fucking headers just came flying out of the Ardennes forest and just went boom straight into the lines and then got caught because it had no fuel and all. Like, that's where I go. Or,
but you can see all that shit in the History Channel. You can't go and see a fucking cavemanosaurus being like, oh,
or
milk.
the Mongols, because that cunt was a fucking madman. Like, did you ever watch that Marco Polo thing on Netflix?
No.
That's good. It's about him, about the Mongols, and fucking obviously it's all probably not real what they're doing, like.
Yeah.
But apparently Marco Polo went from Venice or something to along the Silk Road, and then Kublai fucking made him his like right hand man.
Yeah.
And then he sent them back years later. But that would be an interesting time for me as well. The Mongol era.
And if it was a time period, it would be dinosaurs all day. That actually takes me back to the original question, because if I wasn't the musician, I would be an archaeologist. I always wanted to be an archaeologist from I was a wee boy. And I find that shit fascinating so much. And yeah, it's like dinosaurs or Aztecs or something really fucking old like that would probably be.
Now you're saying that, Jax would love that too. I bet you, see in another 10, 15 years, you'll have VR glasses on and you'll be able to go to somewhere. You'll be able to smell. No, where I'd love to go, actually, Westeros. I'd love to go back to Westeros. Whenever King Cersei or Queen Cersei was there, and Jon Snow.
Right? So this is something I was thinking about, right? We'll close on this because I know we've got to wrap it up. Right, so we as a species of humans didn't know about dinosaurs until like the 30s when some guy dug up a dinosaur's bones in his garden, right? We then went and done digging, like all the pyramids were under sand and the Sphinx was under sand. The Incans were covered by the jungle, like half of the shit still hasn't been found, right? So people dig down, they find this shit, they're like, oh my god, we find a temple, we find all this. Like, oh yeah, human species when it goes back like 12,000 odd years, whatever the fuck it is for civilizations. But once they find that temple or that place of living, they stop digging because they're like, oh, there could be nobody else under here. It's like, well, if we were to be wiped out now...
Think of this, right?
No, hold on, let me finish. If we were to be wiped out now, right, in 100 odd years, all this would be gone, buried. Someone will dig it up, find the foundations of the house or whatever it is and go, oh, fuck, look what we found. But if they actually digged a bit deeper, they would probably find the older foundations of another house. So if you actually went to these ancient sites, because we obviously Sans says that all these ancient sites are built here for specific reasons and all the energy lines and all. Who's to say that a more advanced race before us hadn't been lesser, and because of the Great Flood or whatever, once you hit that, then you're never going to find that because you're like, oh, people have never been any further than that.
Well, have you heard of your man Randall Carlson? Yes. So that's what they're saying. They're saying they put the date of the Sphinx back by fucking 15,000 years or something. I don't remember. But here, is that global warming?
No.
No, because if everything's buried, we're getting closer to the sun.
Global warming.
Listen to me. So if everything's buried, you say...
yes, sorry.
So if everything's buried, we're getting closer to the sun.
Yeah.
So is that not global warming?
Well, no.
Think about it.
The global warming's got to do with the world heating up.
Exactly. If you're heating up, if you're getting closer to the fucking sun,
millions of years. Just because we've put a wee tagline on it, global warming. When we're all fucking dead and gone, the globe will continue to heat and cool over hundreds of thousands
But you said, so
years.
Like say half
global
a million years
from
here.
To do with us being like an extra inch towards the sun. It's about the inside of the earth.
So, but again, up. if you say 10,000 years from now, mankind ceased to exist and all this is buried, where are you going? Closer to the ozone layer?
I'm not going anywhere, mate. I'm dead.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you're digging down fucking 15, 20 foot.
Well, no, not necessarily, because if things are being buried, there's also displacement of Earth. So if it's like the way you go to the oceans and they're like, oh yeah, there's like fucking trenches there that are deeper than the mountains that are on land. At one point in time,
you were down there.
They were dry.
Yeah.
And here was wet. Do you know what I mean? So
that's what I meant. Saying global warming, maybe not. That's not what I meant. But what I meant was, does it just go up and up and up and up and up over the centuries?
It's the same way if you think like, how can you mine something and build all these new things from the stuff that you've mined?
Yeah.
But yet the weight of the earth doesn't really change or displace. You're the same amount of mass is still on the planet. Yeah. It's not like there's new earth. It's not like fucking if we got buried here, it's just magically started raining soil. I don't know where. Do you know what I mean? There's still the same amount of earth or land matter wherever it's displaced to.
Unless you're taking oil out and putting it into the sky.
Aye, but even still, it's still returning to the planet. It's just in a different sort of form. That it should still balance itself out. So I always wanted this.
That's one thing. Fossil fuels. I remember when I was younger and realised that all that was dead animals fucking decaying. I remember going like, I just thought fossil fuels, like it's in the fucking name, like. Yeah. But whenever I remember like it being explained to me, going, so there is only a finite amount of it. Like it's not going to last forever.
Exactly.
But I couldn't wrap my head around it. All it was fucking dead humans and dinosaurs that have decayed and gone in the oil.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I the ones that haven't turned into actual full fossils.
I know.
So yeah, on that wonderful fucking note,
we got a wee bit weird at the end, like. But again,
a good 50 minutes of music and then.
At the end there, it was sort of just like me and you talking shit in the car going to the airport.
Yeah.
It was. I forgot we were even recording, to be fair. But here, yes, thanks Sorry, before we go, we're still doing the CD thing. I've seen a few comments of people who left comments on the YouTube and that. Just, it doesn't have to be about the CD case. Just leave comments and we'll pick a winner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just leave comments.
Any comment on any of the videos.
See on iTunes and all too. please go in and subscribe to the show on there, because then that automatically downloads it for you and it helps us out every month. And then leave I said positive review last time. It doesn't even have to be a positive review. Leave something funny. Rip the back out of us, tell us shit. It doesn't matter. Just leave us a review, and it'll help us up the algorithm on there. And do what you need to do on Spotify as well, iTunes, Google Play, and the CD case. We'll do it whenever I come back from holiday. Yeah, we'll give away the CD case and the USB pen and the flag. So yeah, please like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram. Just go to www.phase2.co.uk and you'll find all the links in there. Yeah. And thanks very much for listening. We hope you stuck around to the end.
Yeah, sorry, got a bit weird, but sure, it is us after all.
Peace out.
Thanks, guys.